Lani slammed the gate behind her and stumbled into the compound, her chest rising and falling like she had sprinted through fire. Her hands shook as she fumbled with her keys, nearly dropping them twice before ramming the metal into the lock. Her breath hitched. "Please, please don't follow me," she whispered, though she wasn't sure if she was begging God or begging the man she had trusted far too much. She twisted the key fast and pushed her door open, slipping inside and locking it again. Her back hit the wall, and she slid down to the floor, her phone buzzing nonstop in her pocket. When she pulled it out, his name flashed across the screen. Zane. Her heart lurched painfully. She muted the call and pressed both hands to her face, whispering, "What did I get myself into?" Her eyes darted around the room suddenly. Her couch, her lamp, her shelves, like everything around her now had secrets. The buzzing stopped. Then it started again. She threw the phone across the room in panic. Her mind dragged her back to where all of this began, the moment she thought a simple conversation with a charming stranger would heal her loneliness. How could she have known the same man who once kissed her forehead and promised her heaven would become the reason she now sat shaking behind a locked door? It all began 6 months earlier, at a small art fair in Iwood, the kind of place she attended only when she wanted to be invisible. Lani Adesina had been nursing a breakup that left her confidence in pieces. She wasn't searching for attention, but attention found her anyway. A tall, smooth-voiced man leaning against a navy SUV that looked expensive even in the dim evening light. He smiled as she walked past. "You dropped something," he said. She paused. "What?" "My heart." She rolled her eyes. "That's so old, please." He laughed, gentle and warm. "Okay, fair enough. I'm terrible at pickup lines. My name is Zane." She wanted to ignore him and keep walking, but he had a softness in his voice, a wounded charm that made her pause. They talked for several minutes, just harmless words. He told her he liked her braids, that she seemed like someone who thought deeply, that he understood the weight of heartbreak because he had one too. His voice wrapped around her like a warm shawl on a cold night. Then he slipped in the truth he framed as harmless. "I'm married," he said quietly, almost ashamed. "But it died a long time ago. We live like strangers. I only stay because my daughters, they're still small." Lani should have walked away. Instead, something in her cracked further. She understood broken homes. She understood broken people. And in a moment of weakness, she said the words she shouldn't have said. "I'm not looking for anything serious." That was all he needed. From that day on, Zane poured attention into her like water into a cracked jar, making her believe he was filling something inside her. Daily voice notes, long midnight conversations, little gestures of affection. It felt like someone finally saw her again. His voice always sounded tired. "You're my peace, Lani. You make me breathe easier." She had heard lies before, but this one was expertly gentle. Within weeks, he started leaving things at her place. His gray hoodie draped over her couch, his laptop bag near her desk, his cologne on her dresser. She teasingly asked, "Are you trying to move in without permission?" He laughed, leaning close to her ear. "Maybe, but only because you feel like home." Her chest tightened in a way she didn't want to admit. Their conversations grew deeper. Some nights, he held her like she was a lifeline. Other nights, he whispered promises. "I'm filing the divorce soon," he said one evening. "You deserve better than secrecy. I want to love you openly, Lani." She looked into his eyes and wanted to believe him, wanted to believe she wasn't a mistake he was making. But then, the cracks appeared. He never answered calls after 9 p.m. He flinched whenever she touched his phone. He once got angry, gently angry, when she suggested meeting his kids someday. "Let's not complicate things now," he had said softly, but with a firmness that felt like a wall slamming down. Still, she stayed. Loneliness is a hunger that reasons with anything. One Saturday morning, she was making tea when someone knocked. She wasn't expecting anyone. She opened the door halfway and froze. A well-dressed woman stood there, calm, confident, eyes sharp enough to cut glass. "Good morning," the woman said. "Good morning. Can I help you?" Lani asked, heart fluttering uneasily. "I'm Tara Olarun." The name slapped the breath from Lani's lungs. Zane's wife. Before she could muster a word, Tara spoke again. "Don't be alarmed. I'm not here to fight. I simply came with a warning." Lani swallowed hard. "A warning," Tara nodded, "and whatever is happening between you and my husband." I don't know what you mean. Tara smiled, a small, eerie smile that made Lani weak in the knees. I know you think he loves you, but he said the same things to the others. The others? Yes, some left, some didn't. Her voice dropped. If you want to live a normal life, end it now. My husband is not who you think he is. Lani felt the world tilt. Please, what are you talking about? Tara's eyes softened slightly. Just walk away. She stepped back. For your own good. Then she turned and walked out of the compound, her heels clicking calmly like she had delivered a business memo, not a threat. Lani stood rooted to the ground, her tea forgotten behind her. Her hands trembled. She should have ended it that moment. But denial is strong. She convinced herself Tara was just jealous, or trying to protect her marriage, or exaggerating. Until 3 days later, when Mira, her closest friend, sent her a link. Lani, this is serious. Read it. It was a blog post about a missing woman, a woman who disappeared after an affair with a married man named Zaniel Oroko. The resemblance to Zayn Olorun was too close. Her stomach twisted painfully. Before fear fully settled, Zayn arrived with flowers and that warm smile she used to melt for. But all she felt this time was dread. He kissed her forehead. I missed you. And she forced a smile, pretending she didn't notice that his phone was now always turned off when he visited. Her gut whispered, something is wrong. Her heart whispered, don't lose him. Her mind whispered, you're in danger. This was the beginning of the storm. Lani didn't sleep that night. She lay awake, replaying Tara's voice again and again in her mind. Some left, some didn't. Those words clung to her skin like cold sweat. She tried to shake them off, telling herself she was being paranoid. Zayn had never hurt her. He had never raised his voice. He had never been anything but gentle. But gentle men have shadows, too. The next morning, Mira came over unannounced. She barged in as soon as Lani opened the door. Why didn't you call me last night? I've been worried sick. I'm fine, Lani lied. Just tired. Mira folded her arms. You don't look fine. What happened? Lani hesitated, but then everything spilled out, the visit from Tara, the strange calmness, the warning. Mira listened without blinking, then sank into the couch and whispered, Lani, we need to talk. Her voice held a heaviness that made Lani's stomach twist. What? Do you remember that story I sent you? The girl who disappeared? Yes. There's more. Mira swallowed hard. My cousin works in investigative journalism. I asked her to help me dig into this Zaniel Oroko guy. And Lani, the descriptions, the photos, the habits, everything matches Zayn. Lani staggered back a step. No, Mira, stop. Zayn isn't. He's not some monster. I'm not accusing him of being a monster. I'm saying we might not know who he truly is. Lani rubbed her forehead. This is crazy. This is insane. Mira reached out and held her hands. I just need you to be careful. Don't confront him. Don't act different. Just watch. Lani nodded, though she wasn't sure she believed any of this. Maybe they were overthinking. Maybe Tara was lying. Maybe the blog was exaggerated. Maybe her phone rang. Zayn. Her blood ran cold. Mira gestured. Pick up. Act normal. Lani forced her voice steady. Hey. His tone was warm, soft, familiar. Good morning, my piece. I'm outside. Can I come in? Mira's eyes widened. Don't let him know I'm here. Lani swallowed. Sure, just give me a second. She hung up and looked at Mira, panic rising. Why is he here? He never comes this early. Mira squeezed her hand. I'll hide in the kitchen. Just call me if anything feels wrong. Lani opened the door slowly. Zayn stood there, dressed in a crisp shirt, holding a breakfast bag. I brought food, he said, his smile gentle. You sounded tired yesterday. I wanted to check on you. Lani smiled weakly. Thank you. That's sweet. He stepped inside, set the food on the table, and pulled her into a hug. A tight hug. Too tight. She tried to breathe normally. He stepped back and cupped her face. You look tense. Has something happened? And no, nothing. Work stress. He studied her for a moment with eyes that felt too observant. Are you sure? Yes. He nodded slowly, then walked toward the couch and sat down. Come here. Her legs felt heavy as she moved toward him. She sat beside him, and he took her hand gently. Lani, I want us to have an honest conversation. Her heart thudded painfully. About what? He tilted his head slightly. Someone visited you recently, didn't they? Her blood turned to ice. He smiled softly, almost sympathetically. My wife. I know she came. You knew? She always does this, he said calmly. She likes to scare women away. She hates the idea of me finding happiness. She does it to feel powerful. She said some things, Lani whispered. He sighed deeply and brushed her cheek with his thumb. She lies, Lani. She lies because she can't stand that another woman is giving me what she refuses to give. Don't let her poison what we have. Lani swallowed hard. She said some women didn't. He gently placed a finger on her lips. Stop. Please don't repeat her madness. His eyes darkened slightly, just a flash, but she saw it. Then he leaned back, voice turning quiet and intimate. Tell me the truth, love. You're not planning to leave me, are you? The question hit her like a blow. No, she said quickly, because fear pushed the words out faster than logic. No, I'm not. He exhaled, relief softening his shoulders. Good, because I need you. You're the only good thing I have. He kissed her forehead. Promise me you won't let anyone come between us. Lani nodded weakly. Lies are easier than danger, she reminded herself. He left not long after, but the moment the door closed, Lani collapsed onto the couch, shaking. Mira rushed out. Lani, what did he say? He knew, she whispered. He knew Tara came. He knew everything. Mira, he asked if I'm planning to leave him. Mira's face drained of color. That's not normal. That's not romantic. That's controlling. Lani wrapped her arms around herself. What if we're wrong? What if he really is trapped in a bad marriage and... Mira cut her off sharply. What if we're right? Silence fell like a heavy curtain. Mira took out her phone. I'm calling Jide. Who? My cousin, the journalist. She said to call her if things got weird. Lani, it's weird. Within 20 minutes, Mira's cousin, Jide, arrived. She was young, sharp-eyed, and carried a small backpack full of investigative equipment. She looked around Lani's living room, frowning. Do you mind if I check something? Check what? Lani whispered. Whether you're being watched. Lani's breath stopped. Jide searched the room systematically. She examined the shelves, the lamps, the AC vent, the wall clock. When she reached the reading lamp beside Lani's couch, her expression hardened. She unscrewed the base and pulled out a tiny audio device. Lani screamed. What is that? Jide held it up. A recorder. High quality. Someone has been listening to what happens in here. Lani backed away, stumbling over her own feet. No, why would he? This wasn't installed by a random thief, Jide said. This is deliberate surveillance. Lani burst into tears, clutching her chest. He's been listening? To me? He's been listening? Mira held her tightly. Lani, breathe. You're okay. Jide moved to the bookshelf and reached behind the decorative plant. There's another one. Lani's knees buckled. 2 devices. 2. She felt like her entire life was collapsing around her. Jide kneeled in front of her gently. Listen to me. Whatever this man is hiding, it's not small. You need to act smart and quietly. No confrontation, no emotional outbursts. If he suspects you know, he could get unpredictable. Lani sobbed harder. What do I do? Jide squeezed her hand. We expose him, but we do it properly. Lani wiped her face shakily. I never wanted this. I just wanted someone to see me. It's okay, Mira whispered. You're not alone. We'll fix this. But deep down, Lani felt a cold, creeping certainty. Zane had not just lied. Zane had planned. Her life, her privacy, her safety, none of it belonged to her anymore. The next days were a blur of whispered plans, encrypted messages, and secret meetings. Jide worked tirelessly, cross-referencing Zane's details with police reports, missing person cases, and online aliases. Each discovery tightened the noose around him. Zane's behavior grew more intense. He began showing up unexpectedly, his eyes scanning every room as if he could see through walls. Lani noticed his car lingering outside her apartment, sometimes for hours. He called incessantly, each ring sending her stomach into knots. Yet she stayed calm on the surface, practicing the art of feigned ignorance. One evening, Mira arrived with a folder. Everything we've got so far, she whispered, laying it on the table. Lani opened it slowly. Screenshots of fake company registrations, police filings under different names, photos of women he had manipulated in the past. Her fingers trembled, her stomach twisted, but finally the pieces made a sickening sense. This is it, Jide said firmly. We set the trap tonight. A weekend getaway he's been insisting on? We use it. He won't see it coming. Lani's heart pounded. And the police? They're ready. All we need is his confession, Jide assured her. The weekend arrived. Lani packed lightly, playing the part of the excited lover. Zane smiled at her as she walked to his car, oblivious to the hidden cameras and undercover officers shadowing their every move. As the car hummed along the highway, Lani sat silently beside him, forcing casual conversation while nerves churned inside her. He leaned closer, murmuring, "I'm so glad you came. You're the best thing I've ever had." She smiled, hiding the tremor in her hand, too. At the secluded villa, Zane relaxed, thinking victory was his. Lani wandered through the living room casually, glancing at the cameras hidden in decorative items. When he finally tried to engage her in one of his manipulative monologues about trust and love, she subtly activated her phone recorder. Every lie, every threat, every coercive word spilled into the microphone. Then, quietly, the sound of tires crunching gravel reached them. Zane turned sharply. Flashing lights illuminated the villa. Police stormed the gates. Officers rushed in, surrounding him before he could react. What is this?" Zane stammered, panic overtaking his smooth charm. "You've been caught," a detective said firmly. "For fraud, illegal surveillance, coercion, and 2 ongoing disappearance investigations. You are under arrest." Lani's chest heaved, the adrenaline giving way to relief. Handcuffs clicked around his wrists, and for the first time in months, she allowed herself to breathe. The nightmare was finally ending. Back home, the sun spilling golden light across her living room, Lani sat with Mira and Gidi, sipping tea. The apartment felt like hers again, safe, free. Weeks later, she launched her podcast, Glow Out of Darkness, sharing her story, offering advice on spotting manipulative partners, and empowering women to protect themselves emotionally and physically. Emails poured in from listeners who had been saved from similar situations. She had turned terror into a mission. Her final episode concluded with her voice steady and powerful. Love should feel like light, not a trap. If something feels off, listen to your instincts. Protect yourself always. And if my story can save even one person, it's worth sharing. She smiled at the camera. Like, comment your thoughts and subscribe for more life-changing stories. Share this video because someone you care about might need it. Stay safe, stay aware, and never let anyone dim your light. Thanks for watching.